ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Tales of the Beautiful Game. I'm your host, Nkosana Manfred Maposa, and today with me, once again, I'm with Se Vusumuzi Matwasa Ndlovu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much, Nkosana.
Today, we've got a humdinger, something that's slightly different from what we're used to, but I think you will enjoy it. But before we start on the meal of the day, can you kindly subscribe and also follow us on Facebook, Tales of the Beautiful Game. On Twitter, it's Tales on Tweets. And also, remember to share with your friends so that they all can also partake on this wonderful menu that we have for you today. Today, we are going to be discussing the effects of local coaches on international tournaments. Let's say it's South Africa having a South African coach, Morocco having a Moroccan coach, how that whole setup of countries hiring their own citizens as coaches has affected the results and the performance of their particular national teams on major tournaments. We're going to look mostly at the World Cup. I think we can share a little bit on AFCON as well and Euro if you're comfortable. Yes. Right, so tell me, what's your sentiment? What's your take on this?
I think hiring local coaches is a positive move by most nations because teams with local coaches have been succeeding more from based on what has happened on the last 10 years on major tournaments like the World Cup, AFCON, the Euros and the Copa America.
So you think basically it's a good move. You would encourage every country that wants to do well to get a local coach, a citizen, to perform.
Exactly.
All right, why is that so though? Do you have anything backing that up?
Yeah, based on the performance, let us say 10 years from today, 2014 World Cup, there were 32 teams, as you know, 18 teams had local coaches, and the semi-finalists had local coaches.
All four of them?
Yes.
So you mean that those that generally had local coaches did better in 2014 than those that had four expatriates?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, is that just a once-off?
No. Because for 4 years later, there was an improvement. 19 of them.
One more.
The local coaches. And the quarterfinalists, which means the last 8 of them
were also local.
So you see, there was another improvement again.
Okay. That sounds interesting. What about this World Cup though? How is it going?
On this World Cup, it seems it keeps on improving.
Really?
Maybe on another World Cup, we'll see all of them with the local coaches.
Interesting.
Because on this World Cup, it's 21 of them. 21 of the 32 nations in Qatar have local coaches. You see, and as we are going to the last 16, today is the last day on group stages. 14 of them, 14 of the qualified nations have local coaches.
14. So 2 slots are open.
Yeah. Two slots are open. So we'll see today whether we will have 16 nations with local coaches or not.
Wow, it seems like this is a trend. Safa, please get us a local coach. Maybe Pizzo or Bailey, I don't know. Yeah. So why do you think this is the case? What could be the cause of this success then that comes from having local coaches? What do you think are the drivers behind this?
I think it's patriotism and commitment. You see, if you're coaching your own nation, it's different than coaching a different nation. I remember at one stage England was playing and Fabio Capello was just silent when they were singing the national anthem. Maybe he did not know it. Maybe he felt like, no, I can't sing the English national anthem because I'm Italian.
Also, if you lose badly, your neighbors Yeah, no, I get it. So the patriotism, you're passionate about this thing, so you bring everything.
Exactly, yeah.
But okay, it's just patriotism. Patriotism.
I think it is identity also, because if you are Dutch, like Louis van Gaal, like Cassie Dink, like guys like Dick Advocate, the guys like those Dutch coaches, they know how the Dutch play.
Okay.
You see, so it's much easier for them to, when they get there, they just apply the national playing philosophy.
All right.
Then when it comes to Spain, again, another example, Spain plays the way most of the Spanish teams play. You see,
Okay, all right, I see. So identity, commitment. I would also think there is an issue of you having to understand each other better, like language barrier. There is no language barrier. We all speak basically the same language. If you're German, we all speak German.
Exactly.
But in
Exactly.
Africa, maybe that may not be so. Is it?
Yeah, yeah. In Africa, it may not be so big because there are many languages in Africa. But usually, there is that one language
That unites everyone.
Yeah.
Like in South Africa, it's Zulu. Basically, everyone tries to speak that.
Exactly. And when it comes to the, I just mentioned World Cup. There is AFCON and Copa and Euros. I'll just run through them. And when it comes to the AFCON, 2013 there was an AFCON that was played here in South Africa, and it was won by a Nigerian, coached by Stephen Ketch. Ketch is a Nigerian legend. Then this year, another local coach won.
Okay.
So in Africa the trend hasn't been much, but
but there is now that. But it's also
and in 2019 again Algeria won when they coached by Ben Mati.
Oh, right, another Nigerian. Okay,
Yes,
Algerian. Sorry.
Yes.
Also, I saw Africa has adopted this. Five of the World Cup qualified countries are all coached by local nations.
By local coaches, yes, that's true.
And they're doing well.
Yeah. They are punching above their heights.
Okay, I see. So that makes sense. But it does, because you then, if I'm from South Africa, I understand how my players think. I understand the culture in which they were raised in. I understand. I think that makes sense. What other factors do you think are driving this success? Is it just those four?
I think is the role model effect. It comes into effect maybe because there is a guy like Cisse. Cisse captained Senegal to their first AFCON final, captained Senegal to their first World Cup. Then there's a guy like Ricobert Song captained Cameroon to African glory, captained Cameroon to World Cup. Guys like Dad Champs.
All right, and some of these have done really well.
Exactly. This Champs was the captain when France won the World Cup
and now he was the coach when they won.
So it's much easier for them to motivate the players because some of them is their role models.
Okay, all right, I get it. So they've got better control of the dressing room.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, but then is it all beautiful when you have a local? Are there no disadvantages?
As there are negatives. But before I go there, let me just go through the Euros. The Euros in 2012, there were 16 teams.
All right.
And 13 of them had local coaches.
That's whoppingly large.
Yeah. European coaches basically trust their own more than African coaches.
Okay.
Then when they went to the next round, 7 of them they had local coaches. Then when they got to the semi-finals, all of them had local coaches.
All right.
That was 2012. Then when it comes to 2016, which was won by Portugal, there were 20 teams there. Then 20 of them had local coaches. 14 of them in the second round had local coaches. Then when it came to the quarterfinals, all of them, all of them.
So
Then he came to the last Euro we saw last year, the Euro which is called Euro 2020, but what
it happened in 2021.
Again, 20 out of 24 at local, 14 out of 16 on the second round at local, and all the semi-finals at local.
Oh, nice. So basically, there is no questioning the statistics. Teams with local coaches tend to do better.
Exactly.
So we're talking about the disadvantages now. What do you think would be the disadvantages? Is there any, or it's just beautiful?
I think there are the disadvantages because sometimes hiring a local coach can limit your growth.
Okay.
Some tend to say, okay, we are playing this kind of, we have got this kind of national playing philosophy, so we are not going to adapt something from
somewhere else.
Yes. So that kind of thinking can limit your growth as a nation.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because you then become like you're in a box. The world becomes the box that you are in. No, I get it. All right.
Then it comes to corruption.
Yeah, now that you say it. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Then it comes to corruption.
Especially in Africa.
There were accusations that Kylian Mbappe initially wanted to play for Cameroon, but someone else in the Cameroonian FA before Eto'o took off, they demanded some money from his family.
No, that's
so
bad.
it was a huge turn-off. And there was something which was said about Mbolo. Mbolo, he had a chance to play for Cameroon
as well.
And something like that, rumors like that came up. So corruption in Africa, and sometimes the selection is based on tribes. Sometimes there is tribal. Sometimes there is regionalism, and sometimes what happens is that in some national team coaches tend to select players from other teams more.
So if you're playing for Orlando Pirates, you're likely to go to the national team than if you're playing for Sundowns, for example.
You see, so something like that. And one thing that can be of disadvantage is lack of a big tournament experience. Experience, because a guy like Rico Peterson played at the World Cup, but he has never played at World Cup semi-finals. Like Cisse.
So if he's to get to semi-finals, he may not. Nerves may actually get the better of the coach before he even gets to the
Exactly.
Okay.
So you may think that he getting this chance who played in the final is better. You may think that he getting Zidane is better.
Even if you're in African country.
Yeah.
All right. But I think we can counter these kind of things by, let's say, having our coaches going to train out there so that they can master the trends, and at least trying to choose some fair coaches, or maybe trying to have a better player selection process. But I don't know how we can do that.
I think basically what African nations have to do is to what African nations have to do is to select a coach who is competent. Select someone who knows your culture, someone who knows your weaknesses, someone who knows how your background, who knows how to motivate you. You see, so if you are to select a European coach here in South Africa, let it be someone like, for example, the late great Ted Dominic. Ted understood South African football very well, because he had spent a lot of time here. There is a guy like Augusto Palacios. Palacios understands South African football. Yes, right now he is busy with development football because he understands South African football. It's not like we were just getting someone who will come there.
Like Pereira, for example. He came and he was like, these players are not serious. And those guys were just serious. They were just different.
You cannot say these guys are not serious because it's their nature. So it's like you can take a Serbian coach and put him on Brazil.
It don't work.
So he will see them tripping around and say,
you're wasting our time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I also think our coaches need to be hungry to adapt, to go in breadth with these things, so that when you're selected, you're not caught unawares by some tactics. Because you've been developing yourself. Is there anything else you want to say before I dismiss us? Because if we cook for too long, it will be too ripe and it won't be nice.
What I can say is that Safa, you have to trust the local coaches more, because we've seen a guy like Pitso Musumani has proven it beyond doubt that he is capable. And when it comes to local coaches, I urge them to if the chance comes, go. If the chance comes,
go abroad.
Go abroad and coach them. Because if you are capable, there is nothing that
can stop you.
Exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to follow us on Facebook, Tales of the Beautiful Game. Do not forget to follow us on Twitter, Tales on Tweets. I'm your host, Nkosana Manfred Maposa, and signing off with...
Bye. Enjoy the World Cup.
You don't know anything. All right.